Crepes are super quick to make, versatile. They're great both savory and sweet, and only a few ingredients are needed: flour, eggs, a little bit of butter and milk, and you can have them ready to eat within 15 minutes. If you'd like to see how to make crepes two ways, I'm doing a spelt flour version and a buckwheat version. Come with me and let's see. I'm Sue and this is savoury, and if you want the full recipe, jump over to my website savoury.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram at savoury. I'm a self-taught baker and I love sharing my simple ideas and recipes for you to try doing at home. And they not only are simple, but they taste delicious too. A few fun facts about crepes. So originally, the French used to eat them as their everyday bread. So crepes originate from an area of France called Brittany. Back in the 12th century, buckwheat was introduced to the area, so they started making their crepes from buckwheat, which are known as galettes. And galettes, or the flour of buckwheat, really suits itself to savoury dishes. So you often can have buckwheat crepes as a main meal. We love having crepes for dessert, breakfast, and lunch or dinner. I love doing crepes with savoury fillings, so I often do my buckwheat crepes as a quick lunch, fill it with like roasted sweet potatoes or cheese, and they're absolutely delicious. So let's get cooking. So there's loads of different recipes on how to make crepes, and I've made them a few different ways over the years, but this is my all-time favorite that I've been perfecting over the last few months. I'm gonna use my spelt flour today. This is a wholemeal variety. And we're just gonna add, crepes is really forgiving, so you don't really need to be super accurate. So we're just gonna pop in 1 cup of flour, 1.5 cups of milk. I'm using oat milk today. I like to add 2 eggs. And then we're gonna add a little bit of melted butter, which I melted before. That's roughly 1 tablespoon. And then we're just gonna mix all that together. And if you didn't have a stand mixer, you can just mix it with a whisk, or you can mix it with a wooden spoon. Just make sure you get all the lumps out. If you didn't want to add butter, you could also add a little bit of olive oil or vegetable oil, and that works fine as well. And if you didn't have spelt flour on hand, you can just use all-purpose flour or plain flour. Pretty much just whatever flour you've got works really well. Sometimes with some of the heavier whole wheat varieties, you may need to add a little bit more milk. And I just put oat milk in it because that's what we have here, but you can use whole milk or light milk. So the trick to crepes, when you're making a batter out of various different flours, you want to have your consistency so it's like this. I made this beforehand. This is my buckwheat crepe mixture, made with the same quantities. We've got to have it so it's pourable like that, so it's pouring like cream. When I work with the batter, my favourite way of pouring it onto my fry pan is putting it into a jug. It just makes it much easier and less mess. But if you didn't have a jug on hand, you can use a soup ladle or 1/2 cup. So the next step is cooking. We have this great non-stick flat crepe pan. You can use like a 23 centimetre non-stick skillet. It's a really good idea to do a test because often the first one doesn't come out well. So I've just got a little bit of butter on some paper towel here. This one we're going to do with apple and caramel sauce. So I've got some stewed apples that I prepared yesterday. Okay, I'm going to add the apples now. Delicious. There you go, look at that. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to swap over to my buckwheat mix. I'm going to add cheese to this one. We've got this amazing Swedish cheese that we love called Västerbottenssås, sauce, if I can say that correctly. Oh, that cheese smells so good. Flipped in half. So here we have it, our 2-way crepes. We've got one I did with buckwheat and cheese. The rest are spelt. One's got some raspberry jam and Nutella. And I'm just going to add a little bit of sprinkle of icing sugar. If we're having it for breakfast, we just serve it as is. Or if it's for dessert, maybe add a little bit of cream or ice cream. This is our lemon and sugar one. So I just drizzle some lemon on top. I've already melted some butter, and then we do a sprinkle of sugar. And I probably wouldn't add any icing sugar, I just serve it like that. And then this is the fancy one with stewed apples. And this is actually some toffee sauce from my sticky date pudding. So if you want to jump over there to the sticky date pudding recipe, and I've got this toffee sauce. So I made heaps last week for a video. So I've got some left over, and then I just drizzle it on top of this. And the apple and caramelly sauce tastes absolutely delicious. So there you have it. So this is the buckwheat with cheese one. I've just added a little bit of garnish of fresh spinach and grapes. Just thought I'd show you a little close up. So here's my favorite crepe recipe for you. This is the spelt one with apple and caramel sauce or toffee sauce. It smells delicious. If you've liked my video today, hit the thumbs up. If you're new, consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the bell and then you get notified when I've got a new video released. I'm doing videos twice a week, every Monday and Friday. Let me know if you've made this and how you went, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, jump up here and check out a few of my other pancake recipes. I've got spelt pancakes and ricotta buckwheat pancakes. Delicious. See ya.